do hours, sessions on treadmills and stuff. I wouldn't have thought so, but how's your training work?
Well, our training is 50% dry land and 50% water based. We do, in the gym, we would do trampolining, dry board work, conditioning, free weights. We do everything, and then we go into the pool and do repetitions on all dives off different boards.
So in the course of the season, I mean, the championships are when exactly?
In July.
In July. So do you have a pre-season of sorts where you would train, say, more in the gym leading up to an event?
Yeah, the off-season has just finished. In 2 weeks' time I go to the World Series and start going all over the world in like a Grand Prix circuit. Yeah, so we've just finished the off-season where we're building up strength, and now we're going into the taper out phase where we do less training and focus more on quality.
So with your gym sessions, for example, talk me through a gym session. What do you do in the gym?
A basic gym session would be get in and do, normally on most days we do circuits, where we would do, say, 30 seconds exercise, 30 seconds skipping, and we do, say, 10 exercises, and we do it 3 or 4 times. Or we would do a weight sheet where we do free weights, so we do squats and we do cleans and we do lots of different things to build up strength. Then after that we would probably do a little bit of jump work and a little bit on the trampoline and a little bit on the dry boards. Don't do that again.
No, go on.
Yeah, so we do a little bit on the dry boards, we do a little bit on the trampoline, and then we would probably come off the trampoline, we'd do some somersaults off a block onto a mat, and then we would do stretching, and then get in the pool.
So even in a weight session, you're still doing the technical nuances, I suppose, to help create what you want to create on the high board?
Yeah, it's all diving related exercises that we do. We would do, if we was going to do ab exercises, it would be stuff for your core. You would do everything as if you were doing a dive, but doing it for your core.
Okay, how does that? So would you do lots of tucks?
As in like for working out, you would go from here and you would do some of these, practicing the dive.
And you obviously have a lot of people looking after you in that respect, other the top people. How does it work with your food and your nutrition? And because you obviously you're very young, but do you have to watch what you eat, or are you looking at that you just burn things off?
Well, I have to be sensible with what I eat. I can't go and eat what a normal 14-year-old would eat. Right. So I just have to be very careful and just be sensible, because at the moment it doesn't really matter because of my age. I just have to make sure I get a balanced diet and general stuff, and yeah, just don't get too big really, because it's not really a weight restricted sport, so you can just have to feel like you feel comfortable really.
Obviously, as you burst onto the scene literally, you've done this from a young age. As you're getting older, do you find the gap, because obviously you're very good at this and you're one of the best, is the gap getting smaller as you get older? Does that make sense? So you tend, from what I read, you were obviously the best at what you did, and then as you're into different age groups, are you finding the competition obviously higher and you're having to raise your game?
Well, I recently did the Junior World Championships and I got 2 silver medals, and it was quite frustrating on the platform actually, because I didn't win by just over 1.5 points, which is very little in diving.
So excuse me, my ignorance, no one else is looking. 1.5 points, what was that the difference between?
It was the difference between our 2 scores at the end.
Yeah,
it was
in actually hitting the pool. Is it your style of dive, or is it how you hit the water? What was that small difference being?
Basically, each dive you get 5 marks from the judge. The highest score gets knocked off, and the lowest score gets knocked off. Right. The remaining 3 gets time added up and times by the degree of difficulty.
Okay.
So, and then we did 9 dives, and at the end of the 9 dives, it was 1.5 points difference. So it was really gutting, but then the week after, he won the Chinese National Championships, beating the Olympic silver medalist. So it was kind of quite a good result, really.
And how old was he relative?
He was 15.
Okay. So in that year, a lot of development and a lot of practice. You know, there's a lot can go on in a year, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. There's lots going on that can go on in a year. That I'm definitely going to be competing against him this year in the World Series circuit, because I've seen his name on the list and at the World Championships. So we'll see what happens.
So in 9 dives, do you have in your own mind? Because I suppose it's a repetition, isn't it? You've got to visualise, practice and perform, I presume, and then make it as obviously as perfect as possible. So do you always have a number, say the fourth dive or the fifth dive that's going to be more comfortable? Do you know what I'm saying? Of the 9 dives, do you break them up into
Well, in a junior competition you have to do 4 easy dives at the beginning, but in a senior competition you only do 6. So I like the first 3 are like quite safe ones, and then my last 3 are consistent ones, but sometimes they're consistent and then sometimes they're very good. So I leave my best 3 to last, really.
Do you know as soon as you hit the water what a good dive look like that is? Or do you
well, you feel it going through the air. You feel if you've done a good takeoff. You can feel whether you're doing a good shape. You can feel yourself hitting the water, because you go and hit in the water at nearly 40 miles per hour. So if you go a little bit short, you get slapped in the calves. If you go a little bit over, you can feel it. So basically, once you hit the water, if you get sucked under and you go under really quickly, you'll know that you've done it well.
Do you remember your first ever dive off 10 metres?
I can remember literally like crawling to the edge because I was so scared. Because when you're up there for the first time, it feels like the board's like a balance beam. It feels really small, and you feel like you're going up there and you're trying not to fall off the edges when you've got like say a metre each side of you. And it's really scary, but once you've done it once, it kind of just, you want to do it again and again.
So as part of going back to your training, as part of your training, do you ever do things like yoga or Pilates or as a help towards things?
We kind of do like core stability, with sense of Pilates really. So we do it with our physio Amanda. She does lots of different things with us. So.
Cool. Sounds like I could talk for ages. I think that's we're out of time, but brilliant. And then obviously with looking in on it from an ignorant point of view, you can appreciate the kind of the degree of difficulty in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the amount of effort and concentration and time.
Yeah.
But I suppose especially you start so young, it's second nature to you. Isn't it?
Yeah, you kind of just get used to it. It's kind of routine after school, come home, do homework, go. So yeah.
Is it half term now? You're off school?
No, it's not half term. I get a day off because yeah.
And your studies going well?
Yeah, it's going well actually. I've done a few pieces of coursework and it's all still A grade. So.
Okay, so it doesn't detract, I suppose.
No.
There's extra emphasis on getting through that.
Kind of like if I wasn't a diver, I don't think I'd focus so much on my coursework, because I go away so much, it makes me concentrate more on my schoolwork to make sure I don't fall behind.
Do you have to do schoolwork when you're away?